In John chapter 1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And that incarnation picture that we have at the beginning of John is perhaps a great foundation for the strongest imperative for giving pastoral care to children. Because there we have God coming to us in the form of a child, in the person of Jesus Christ, and in that humanness coming to a world that he still loves. And that incarnation theology really underlies and motivates most of pastoral care, because as it says in that first chapter of John, God was revealed to us. We began to know God through Jesus. And so it's very clear still today that the Christian gospel is communicated best through human beings. And as pastors, we have a unique identity, and our role as the shepherd of God's flock is to be representatives of God, to be symbols of that religious quest, but also to care for people. Now, in caring for children, we have really to keep in mind that children have a unique vision of the person and role of pastors. A pastor by the name of Benjamin Griffin from York, Pennsylvania, did some research on the perspective of children and how they viewed pastors. And some of the descriptions they have of pastors are things like, "I think he's the man that lives in the church. He's the person that runs the church. He talks about God and good things. He preaches and he prays, and he marries people. And he does something with babies where he puts their head in water." Now, those kind of perspectives give this aura of mystery and magic to the pastor, and that's something that sometimes children will fear. And so we need to be mindful as we approach a child in that context of the pastor, to remember that symbolic meaning, that mysterious meaning that children will attach to us. But we must also remember that we have a charge to care for the flock, and the most vulnerable within that flock is, of course, children. We must therefore be trustworthy. We must be in a place where we can be the representative of God's trustworthiness, God's faithfulness, God's steadfastness, because we are a representative of God to these children. And being mindful of the power of forgiveness is extremely important, particularly for children. Children oftentimes have a poor concept of forgiveness and will feel extremely guilty, particularly in situations where their parents are divorcing, or simple things like their pet dying or siblings having an accident. And it's very real guilt that we need to be mindful that they are experiencing. So we must remember to offer pastoral care to children, because life is not easy for them. We oftentimes will romanticize childhood, and we will forget the difficult life situations and how difficult it is to navigate life as a child, not understanding the complexities of life, not understanding the fullness of God's grace and God's forgiveness, and the hope of resurrection that comes with Christ and the message of the gospel. And so we need to remember that there are some very powerful things that we need to be mindful of within that. So when we engage people in living through stressful situations, we cannot forget the children. When children do not receive pastoral care during a stressful event, the meaning of the crisis may be distorted. The emotions will be suppressed and the impact might be denied. Many times, faulty conclusions are reached about the nature of God because of these stressful situations, and the child's perception of how God relates to the world can be very skewed. So without careful pastoral guidance, the child may decide that God is angry, or God is uncaring, or God is mean. Without help, the unresolved and distorted aspects of the crisis may continue to plague the child throughout their childhood years and on into adolescence, and return as haunting demons throughout their adult years. We know that many emotional, relational, and spiritual problems that we have when we see in adults are a result of childhood crises that were left unresolved. So effective pastoral care with a child in crisis may prevent the crisis from having a lifelong, debilitating effect on the child's emotional, physical, and spiritual health. So it's very important to remember the child, to engage the child, to provide a caring, supportive environment for the child, and to provide a listening ear for the child. Oftentimes it will require a good referral to somebody that specializes in child counseling in order to help the child. But I think it's really important for pastors to never forget the child within their pastoral ministry, particularly in the care and counseling of their flock.